Imagine this. A woman slips into a stranger's life for just one night, playing the role of his fiancé, only to wake up the next morning unable to walk away. What kind of spell does one night cast to make someone cling to a lie? What secrets unravel when a single evening turns into an obsession that could change everything? That's the mystery we're diving into today. And trust me, you're not gonna want to click away. This is she posed as his fiancé for one night, then never wanted to let go, and I'm here to walk you through every heart-pounding, jaw-dropping moment. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you're gonna get the answers to the questions burning in your mind right now. Why does she do it, and what happens when the truth comes crashing down? Let's set the stage for a story that's equal parts romance, deception, and raw human emotion. One that'll have you questioning what you'd do in her shoes. You ready? Let's jump in. You ever meet someone who feels like they were meant to be in your life, even if the way they got there was a total lie? That's the kind of story we're unpacking today, and I'm talking directly to you because I know you've felt that tug before. Maybe not as wild as this, but that moment when your heart says, stay, even when your head screams, run. This story's got all the trending vibes you're searching for on YouTube right now. Love, betrayal, secrets, and that addictive drama that keeps you hitting next video. Picture a small glittering gala in the heart of Chicago, where the champagne's flowing, the lights are low, and everyone's dressed to impress. That's where we meet Emma, a 28-year-old graphic designer with a smile that could charm anyone and a knack for blending into any crowd. She's not rich, not famous, just a regular woman with dreams bigger than her bank account. Then there's Ethan, a 32-year-old tech entrepreneur who's got it all. Money, looks, and a reputation for keeping his heart locked up tight. These two. They're strangers. Total opposites. No reason to cross paths. But one night, one crazy twist of fate, and a single lie changes everything. Emma's not supposed to be his fiancée. She's not even supposed to be at that gala. So how does she end up on Ethan's arm, laughing at his jokes, meeting his family, and playing a role she was never meant to play? And why, after just one night, does she find herself unable to let go of the life she pretended to have? You're probably thinking, okay, what's the catch? What's driving this woman to hold on to a man and a life that isn't hers? I'm gonna give you the full scoop, but you've gotta stay with me, because this story's got layers, and I'm peeling them back one by one to keep you hooked. Now, let's talk about you for a second. You're here because you love a good story, right? You're the kind of person who gets sucked into true crime, romance dramas, or those viral "what happened next" clips that blow up on YouTube. You're curious, you're invested, and you want to feel something real. That's why I'm telling you this story like we're sitting across from each other, maybe grabbing coffee, just two friends unraveling a wild tale. I'm not some distant narrator. I'm your guide, and I'm promising you that if you stick around, you're gonna feel every twist and turn of Emma and Ethan's story. This isn't just about a fake fiancé or a one-night charade. It's about what happens when you taste a life you've always wanted, even if it's built on a lie. It's about the messy, beautiful, terrifying things we do for love, for belonging, for a chance to be someone else. Emma's not a villain, and Ethan's not a saint. They're real, flawed, and caught in a web of their own making. You're gonna see yourself in them, because we've all pretended to be something we're not, even if it's just for a moment. Maybe you faked a smile at a party, or played it cool when your heart was racing. Emma took it further, way further, and that's what makes this story so addictive. You're gonna want to know how far she goes, what she risks, and whether she gets away with it. And I'm here to make sure you don't miss a single second of it. Let's set the tone, because this story's got a vibe that's gonna pull you in and not let go. Think of a late summer night in the city, where the air's warm, the skyline's glowing, and there's this electric buzz of possibility. That's the atmosphere of the gala where Emma and Ethan's paths collide. The room's alive with clinking glasses, soft jazz, and whispered conversations. But beneath the glitz, there's tension. Emma's there on a whim, sneaking in with a borrowed dress tell-all book that promises to reveal the secrets of the rich and powerful. She's out of her depth, but she's got guts, and when a mix-up lands her in the role of Ethan's fiancée, she leans into it. Why? That's one of the questions you're gonna want answered, and I'm not spilling it yet. You've gotta keep watching. Ethan, meanwhile, is all charm on the surface, but there's a shadow behind his eyes, a past he doesn't talk about. The chemistry between them is instant, undeniable, but it's built on a lie. As the night unfolds, Emma's not just playing a part, she's living a fantasy. She's meeting Ethan's high society family, laughing with his friends, and feeling like she belongs for the first time in forever. But every lie has an expiration date, and as the clock ticks, the stakes get higher. What happens when the morning comes? What happens when the truth starts creeping in? You're probably wondering, does she pull it off? Does Ethan find out? And why can't she let go? I'm telling you, the answers are worth the wait, and I'm not gonna let you down. This story's got all the drama you're craving: romance, suspense, and a twist that'll leave you shook. Here's the thing. I know you've got a million videos to choose from. You could click away right now, chase another trending clip, or scroll through shorts. But I'm betting you're still here because you feel it. This story's got you curious. You're already picturing Emma in that gala dress, Ethan's hand on her waist, the way their eyes lock across the room. You're wondering what you'd do if you got a chance to step into someone else's life, even for a night. That's the magic of this story. It's not just about them, it's about you. It's about the choices we make, the risks we take, and the lies we tell ourselves to hold on to something that feels real. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here to give you a story that hits all the right notes. Drama, romance, mystery, and a cliffhanger that'll keep you smashing that like button and begging for part 2. Speaking of which, let's talk about why you're gonna watch this till the end. I'm not just throwing out a random tale and hoping you stick around. I'm building this for you, step by step, so you feel every beat of Emma's heart, every crack in Ethan's perfect facade. You're not just watching a video, you're living this story with me, and I'm making sure you get the payoff you came for. The truth about Emma's motives, Ethan's secrets, and the fallout of that one wild night? It's all coming, and it's gonna be worth it. Now let's zoom in on the themes that make this story pop, because this isn't just a juicy drama, it's got depth. We're talking about identity, about who we are when no one's watching versus who we pretend to be in the spotlight. Emma's not just posing as a fiancée, she's wrestling with her own sense of self, chasing a version of herself she's always wanted to be. Ethan, on the other hand, is grappling with trust, with letting someone in after a lifetime of keeping people at arm's length. Then there's the big one. Love. Not just the swoony heart-eyes kind, but the messy, complicated kind that makes you question everything. Can you love someone you don't really know? Can a lie lead to something real? These are the questions that'll keep you thinking long after the video ends, and I'm weaving them into every moment so you're not just entertained, you're invested. You're gonna care about Emma and Ethan, even when they mess up, even when they make choices that make you yell at the screen. That's what makes this story so human, so relatable, and so perfect for you, the YouTube viewer who's all about real stories with real stakes. Alright, let's pull you even closer, because I want you to feel like we're in this together. You're not just some random viewer. You're part of this journey. When you hit play on this video, you signed up for a ride, and I'm your driver, making sure every twist and turn keeps you on the edge of your seat. I'm not here to bore you with a dry recap or a cheesy script. I'm talking to you like a friend, laying out a story that's as gripping as the latest Netflix binge. You're probably thinking, okay, but how does this all go down? Does Emma get caught? Does Ethan fall for her? What's the deal with her not letting go? I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but I'm dropping just enough to keep you hooked. Picture Emma at the end of the night, standing outside the gala, her dress sparkling under the streetlights, her heart racing as she looks back at Ethan. She's got a choice to make. Walk away and never look back, or hold on to the lie and risk everything. What would you do? What's driving her to even consider staying? That's the cliffhanger I'm leaving you with, because I know you're not clicking away until you find out. You're in too deep now, and I'm not letting you go until you get the answers you came for. So keep watching, hit that subscribe button, and let's find out what happens when one night becomes a life she can't leave behind. Right there under the Chicago streetlights, Emma's standing at a crossroads, her heart pounding like it's trying to break free from her chest. The gala's behind her, a glittering blur of laughter and lies, and Ethan's still inside, probably shaking hands with some tech mogul, unaware that the woman he introduced as his fiancée is about to make a choice that could unravel everything. You're probably wondering, how did Emma even get here? How does a regular woman with a day job and a tiny apartment end up in a world of millionaires and masquerades? And what's pushing her to cling to this fantasy when she knows it's built on quicksand? Let's pull back the curtain a bit, dive into the messy human details of Emma and Ethan's lives, and sprinkle in just enough mystery to keep you hooked. This isn't just a story about a fake fiancé, it's about longing, secrets, and the dangerous pull of a life you were never meant to live. You're still with me, right? Good, because we're about to peel back more layers, introduce a few new faces, and crank up the suspense. Keep watching, because the drama's only getting started, and I'm not letting you miss a single twist. Let's start with Emma, because to understand why she's standing outside that gala, torn between running and staying, you need to know where she's coming from. Emma Carter grew up in a small Illinois town, the kind where everyone knows your business and dreams of leaving are just that. Dreams. Her mom worked double shifts at a diner, her dad was long gone, and Emma learned early that if you want something, you hustle for it. She's not a con artist, not some master manipulator, but she's got a knack for reading people, for slipping into the right moment with the right smile. It's what got her into graphic design, scraping by on freelance gigs until she landed a steady job in Chicago. But steady doesn't mean glamorous, and at 28, Emma's life feels like a treadmill, running hard, going nowhere. Her apartment's a shoebox, her love life's a string of bad Tinder dates, and every day she scrolls through Instagram, seeing influencers living the life she wants. Designer dresses, rooftop parties, love that feels like a movie. That's why she crashed the gala. It wasn't planned. Not really. A friend of a friend had a spare invite, a borrowed dress from a thrift store, and a wild idea to sneak into a world she'd only seen in magazines. You ever wanted to be someone else? Even for a night? That's Emma's vibe. She's chasing a taste of something bigger, something that makes her feel alive. But when a mix-up at the gala has Ethan's sister mistaking her for his fiancé, Emma doesn't correct her. She plays along, and that choice sets off a chain reaction she never saw coming. Why didn't she just laugh it off and walk away? That's the question you're going to want answered, and I'm not spilling it yet. Just know there's something deeper driving her, something tied to a secret she's not even ready to admit to herself. Now let's talk about Ethan, because he's not just some rich guy in a suit. Ethan Hayes is the kind of man who walks into a room and owns it, but not in a loud, obnoxious way. His confidence is quiet, magnetic, the kind that makes you lean in. At 32, he's built a tech startup from nothing, turning it into a multi-million-dollar company that's got investors buzzing. On paper, he's got it all: a penthouse downtown, a Tesla in the garage, and a social calendar packed with elite events. But dig a little deeper, and you'll see the cracks. Ethan's guarded, the kind of guy who smiles but never lets you too close. His family's old money, with all the expectations that come with it. Marry well, keep up appearances, don't rock the boat. Except Ethan's been rocking the boat his whole life, and not always in a good way. There's a reason he's single, a reason he's dodging his mom's constant hints about settling down. Something happened a few years back, something that left him burned, and it's why he's so quick to go along with Emma's charade at the gala. You're probably thinking, wait, he knows she's not his fiancée? Not exactly, but he's not clueless either. When his sister introduces Emma as his betrothed, Ethan doesn't flinch. He plays the part, maybe because it's easier than explaining the truth, maybe because there's something about Emma that pulls him in. What's his deal? What's he hiding? That's another piece of the puzzle, and I'm dropping just enough to keep you curious. Let's just say Ethan's got his own reasons for letting this lie spiral, and they're tied to a past he's desperate to keep buried. Here's where things get juicier, because this story isn't just about Emma and Ethan. There's a whole cast of players stirring the pot, and they're bringing their own drama. Enter Claire, Ethan's older sister, the one who sparked this whole mess. Claire's 35, sharp as a tack, and the unofficial gatekeeper of the Hayes family legacy. She's got a smile that could cut glass and an eye for anything that doesn't belong. When she spots Emma at the gala, she assumes she's the fiancé Ethan's been dodging questions about, and Emma's quick thinking seals the deal. But Claire's not just a plot device. She's a force, and she's got her own agenda. See, Claire's been pushing Ethan to settle down, not just for family optics but because she's got her own secrets to protect. There's a business deal on the table, one that could secure the Hayes family's influence for decades, and Ethan's single status is a liability. Claire's not buying Emma's act completely, but she's willing to play along for now. Why? Because Claire's got her own game running, and Emma's presence might just be the leverage she needs. You're probably wondering, is Claire friend or foe? That's the fun part. You won't know until the pieces start falling into place. Then there's Marcus, Ethan's best friend and business partner, who's got a laid-back charm but a knack for sniffing out trouble. Marcus is the first to notice something's off about Emma, and his quiet suspicions add a ticking clock to the story. Will he call her out? Will he tell Ethan? Every time Marcus glances her way, you'll feel the tension ratchet up, because one wrong move could blow this whole charade apart. Let's weave in a subplot. because this story's got more layers than a viral TikTok trend. While Emma's navigating the gala, pretending to be Ethan's fiancée, there's another thread unraveling back in her real life. Her best friend Lila is the only one who knows she crashed the event, and Lila's not thrilled. Lila's a no-nonsense bartender with a heart of gold and a habit of calling Emma out when she's in over her head. Back at their favorite dive bar, Lila's texting Emma, begging her to ditch the gala and come clean before things spiral. But Lila's got her own problems. She's tangled in a messy breakup with her ex, a wannabe musician who's been crashing at her place and stirring up old feelings. Lila's story mirrors Emma's in a way, because they're both grappling with the pull of something they know isn't good for them. Lila's warnings to Emma start to feel like a Greek chorus, a voice of reason that Emma's ignoring at her own peril. But there's a twist. Lila's ex knows someone connected to the gala, and when he overhears Lila venting about Emma's stunt, he starts digging. Suddenly, Emma's not just dodging Claire and Marcus. She's got an outside threat creeping closer, someone who could expose her before she's ready. You're probably thinking, how many people are gonna figure this out before it's over? That's the suspense keeping you glued, and I'm not resolving it yet. This subplot adds a gritty real-world contrast to the gala's glitz, grounding the story in the kind of drama you'd see trending on YouTube under real-life stories, or caught in a lie. Now let's deepen the mystery, because this isn't just about who catches Emma or what Ethan's hiding. It's about why this one night feels so impossible to walk away from. For Emma, it's not just the fancy dress or the free champagne. It's the way Ethan looks at her, like she's more than a nobody from nowhere. It's the way his family, flawed as they are, makes her feel like she belongs. There's a moment at the gala, when Ethan pulls her onto the dance floor, and for those 3 minutes, it's like the lie doesn't exist. You ever had a moment so perfect you'd do anything to hold on to it? That's what Emma's chasing, and it's why she's still standing outside, debating her next move. But there's something else, something she's not telling anyone, not even Lila. It's a memory, a piece of her past that makes this fake fiancé role hit harder than it should. I'm not spilling it yet, but let's just say Emma's not as random a choice for this lie as she seems. On Ethan's side, the mystery's just as thick. He's playing along, but there's a flicker in his eyes every time Emma nails a detail about his life, like she knows him better than she should. Is it just chemistry, or is there something bigger at play? The deeper we go, the more you'll wonder. Is this really a coincidence, or is there a connection between these two that neither of them sees yet? That's the kind of question that'll keep you hitting "Watch Next" on YouTube, because you're not just here for the drama, you're here for the truth. The tension's building, and I'm not letting it drop, because you're too invested to click away now. Picture Emma, still outside the gala, her phone buzzing with Lila's texts, her mind racing with possibilities. She could slip away, disappear into the night, and no one would be the wiser. Or she could go back inside, find Ethan, and see how far this lie can take her. Every choice feels like a step toward a bigger fall, but there's a pull she can't shake, a need to see this through. Meanwhile, Claire's watching from a distance, her mind already spinning new plans. Marcus is asking questions, Lila's ex is digging, and Ethan's starting to notice the way Emma's laugh feels familiar, like a song he's heard before. You're probably screaming, what happens next? Does she go back in? Does someone call her out? I'm leaving you right there on the edge, because this story's got more twists coming, and you're not gonna want to miss them. Keep watching, because the next part's gonna dive even deeper into the secrets, the stakes, and the moment when everything starts to crack. You're in this with me, and I'm not letting you go until we unravel it all. Emma's still standing there, frozen under the Chicago streetlights, her breath catching as her phone vibrates again with another text from Lila, urging her to ditch this crazy charade and come back to reality. The gala's hum spills out through the glass doors behind her, a siren song of laughter and clinking glasses, pulling her toward the life she's been pretending to own for one wild night. You're probably on the edge of your seat, wondering what she's gonna do. Run or dive back into the lie that's got her heart racing. But just as she takes a step toward the door, her phone lights up with a message that stops her cold. It's not from Lila. It's from an unknown number, and the words make her stomach drop. I know you're not her. Leave now or I tell everyone. Your jaw's probably hitting the floor, right? Who's this? How do they know? Suddenly, Emma's not just juggling Ethan's family or Marcus's suspicions. She's got a faceless threat breathing down her neck, and the stakes just shot through the roof. You're glued to this, aren't you? This is she posed as his fiancée for one night, then never wanted to let go, and I'm cranking up the drama with a twist that'll keep you hooked. We're diving deeper into the chaos, weaving in subplots, and pushing toward a climax that's gonna leave you shook. Stick with me, because this story's about to take a turn you didn't see coming, and I'm not letting you click away until you're begging for more. Let's rewind just a bit to keep you in the loop, because Emma's world is spinning faster now, and every choice feels like a tightrope walk over a pit of secrets. She's been playing Ethan's fiancée at this glitzy Chicago gala, a role she stumbled into when his sister, Claire, mistook her for the real deal. Emma's no master criminal. She's just a 28-year-old graphic designer with a knack for blending in and a hunger for a life bigger than her own. But that mysterious text changes everything. Her fingers tremble as she stares at the screen, the words burning into her brain. Who could know she's a fraud? Claire's sharp, but she's been too busy working the room to dig into Emma's story. Marcus, Ethan's best friend, has been giving her side eye, but he's still inside, chatting up investors. Could it be Lila's ex, the musician who's been sniffing around after overhearing Lila's rants? Or is it someone else entirely, someone tied to Ethan's past, someone who knows more about this fiancé role than Emma ever could? You're probably thinking, Emma, get out of there. But here's the thing about Emma. She's not the type to run when she's scared. That text isn't just a threat. It's a challenge, and something in her, maybe that same stubborn spark that got her to the gala in the first place, makes her pocket her phone and march back inside. You ever felt that rush, when fear and defiance mix and push you to do something reckless? That's Emma right now, and it's about to make this story explode with tension. You're not just watching a YouTube drama. You're living it with her, and I'm making sure every second keeps you on edge. Now let's zoom in on Ethan, because he's not just a bystander in this mess. Ethan Hayes, the 32-year-old tech mogul with a smile that could sell ice to a snowstorm, is starting to feel the cracks in this charade, even if he's not saying it out loud. He's been playing along with Emma's act, maybe because it's convenient, maybe because there's something about her that tugs at a part of him he's kept locked away. But as the night wears on, he's noticing things. How Emma seems to know details about his life she shouldn't, like the way he takes his coffee or the name of his childhood dog. It's not enough to make him call her out, but it's enough to make him wonder. And here's where the twist deepens. Ethan's got a secret of his own, one that's about to collide with Emma's lie in a way neither of them expects. You see, Ethan's not at the gala just to schmooze. He's there to close a deal, a massive partnership that could take his company global. But there's a catch. The investors want stability, a family man, not a bachelor with a playboy reputation. That's why Claire's been so obsessed with his love life. And it's why Ethan didn't flinch when Emma was introduced as his fiancée. He needed her, even if he didn't know it. But what Emma doesn't know, and what you're gonna flip over, is that Ethan's been expecting a fiancé to show up tonight. Not Emma, but someone else, someone he's never met, arranged through a deal he can't talk about. Who is this other woman? Why hasn't she shown up? And what happens when Ethan starts to suspect Emma might not be who she claims, but he's too drawn to her to care? You're probably screaming, what's going on here? And I'm not spilling it all yet. Just know this twist adds a whole new layer of mystery, and it's gonna keep you glued to this video. Let's weave in the subplots, because the drama's not just inside the gala. It's spilling out into the real world, and it's getting messier by the minute. Lila, Emma's best friend, is back at their dive bar, pacing behind the counter as she texts Emma like her life depends on it. Lila's not just worried, she's pissed, because she knows Emma's in over her head, and she's got her own chaos to deal with. Her ex, Jake, the musician with a knack for trouble, is still hanging around, and he's been eavesdropping on Lila's rants about Emma's gala stunt. Jake's not exactly a villain, but he's got a jealous streak and a habit of stirring the pot. When he overhears Lila mention the gala, he starts digging, and here's where things get wild. Jake knows someone who works security at the event, a buddy who owes him a favor. He's already texted this guy, asking him to keep an eye out for Emma, and that's where the mysterious message might be coming from. But Jake's not the only one causing trouble. Lila's starting to wonder if she's partly to blame for Emma's recklessness. She's the one who gave Emma the idea to crash the gala, half joking over beers a week ago. Now, Lila's guilt is pushing her to act, and she's debating whether to head to the gala herself to drag Emma out. You're probably thinking, Lila, stay out of it. But that's the beauty of this story. Everyone's tangled in their own choices, and every move they make tightens the knot. This subplot's got that raw real-life drama that's trending on YouTube under friendship betrayal, or caught in a lie, and it's adding fuel to the fire that's about to erupt. Meanwhile, Claire's subplot is heating up, and she's bringing a whole new level of intrigue. Claire's not just Ethan's protective sister. She's a chess player, always 3 moves ahead, and she's got her own reasons for wanting this gala to go perfectly. That business deal Ethan's chasing? It's not just his. It's the Hayes family's ticket to staying relevant in a world that's passing them by. Claire's been working behind the scenes, pulling strings to make sure the investors see Ethan as the perfect package. But here's the kicker. Claire's got a secret that could tank the whole deal, and it's tied to a scandal in the family's past, one that Ethan doesn't even know about. When she introduced Emma as his fiancée, she thought she was covering a base, but now she's starting to suspect Emma's not what she seems. Instead of confronting her, Claire's playing a game, dropping subtle tests to see how far Emma will go. At one point she pulls Emma aside, all smiles, and asks her about wedding plans, watching her like a hawk for any slip. Emma's quick on her feet, spinning a vague story about a small ceremony, but Claire's not buying it. You can feel the tension, right? It's like a viral YouTube clip tagged suspenseful moments or family secrets, and it's pushing the story toward a showdown that's gonna be epic. Claire's not just a threat to Emma. She's a wild card, and her own hidden agenda is about to make things even more complicated. Here's where the main conflict escalates, and I'm not holding back on the drama. Back inside the gala, Emma's trying to keep it together, but that text is like a splinter in her mind. She's scanning the room, wondering who's watching her, who knows her secret. Ethan's by her side, introducing her to more guests, and every smile she fakes feels like a step closer to disaster. Then comes the moment that pushes everything to the brink. A woman walks into the gala, late, her dress shimmering like she owns the place. She's poised, confident, and when her eyes lock on Ethan, there's a flicker of recognition. Emma catches it, and her heart sinks. This woman, let's call her Vanessa, moves through the crowd, and when she reaches Ethan she says, "Sorry I'm late, darling." The room doesn't stop, but for Emma, it's like the world freezes. Who is she? Is this the real fiancé Ethan was expecting? You're probably yelling at the screen, "No way!" And I'm right there with you. This is the twist that flips the script, and it's not just a random shock, it's a game changer. Ethan's face doesn't give much away, but there's a tightness in his jaw, a sign he's as thrown as Emma. Vanessa's arrival isn't just a threat to Emma's lie. It's a bomb that could blow up Ethan's deal, Claire's plans, and the fragile connection Emma's built with him. You're dying to know what happens next, aren't you? Does Vanessa expose Emma? Does Ethan play along with both of them? And what about that text? How does it tie into this new player? The stakes are sky high now, and I'm not resolving this yet, because you're too deep in the story to click away. Emma's trapped, caught between a mysterious threat, a suspicious sister, a curious friend, and now this new woman who's looking at Ethan like he's hers. Lila's subplot is simmering, with Jake's meddling about to bring trouble to the gala's doorstep. Claire's scheming is adding pressure, and Ethan's own secrets are starting to surface, making you wonder if he's as innocent as he seems. You're probably thinking, how does this all come together? Who's gonna break first? I'm leaving you right there, with Vanessa's arrival hanging like a storm cloud, because this story's barreling toward a climax that's gonna be worth every second. Keep watching, hit that like button, and let's see how this tangled web of lies, love, and secrets unravels. You're in this with me, and I'm not letting you go until we hit the peak of this wild ride. The gala's air feels thicker now, charged with the weight of secrets as Vanessa's arrival sends a ripple through the glittering crowd. Emma's heart is a drumbeat in her chest, her eyes darting between Ethan, who's standing rigid beside her, and this poised newcomer who just called him darling like she's staking a claim. You're probably gripping your phone, wondering how Emma's gonna wiggle out of this one, right? That mysterious text, "I know you're not her," is still burning in her mind, and with Claire's sharp gaze cutting through the room and Marcus lingering nearby, the walls are closing in. This is she posed as his fiancée for one night, then never wanted to let go, and we're hurtling toward the climax that's gonna tie up every thread of this wild heart-pounding story. I'm talking to you, the YouTube viewer who's been with me through every twist, and I'm promising you a resolution that'll answer all your questions. Why Emma couldn't walk away, who Vanessa is, what Ethan's hiding, and who sent that text. But hold on, because just when you think you've got it figured out, I'm hitting you with one final twist that'll leave your jaw on the floor. Let's dive into the chaos, wrap up the subplots, and give you an ending that's as unforgettable as the trending drama you're craving. Keep watching, because this is where it all comes together, and I'm not letting you go until the last second. Emma's no stranger to pressure, but this moment feels like a high-wire act with no net. Vanessa's standing there, all elegance and confidence, her eyes flicking to Emma with a mix of curiosity and challenge. Ethan's hand is still on Emma's arm, but his grip tightens just enough to betray his unease. The gala's still buzzing, champagne flutes clinking, jazz humming, but for Emma, it's like the world's narrowed to this triangle of tension. She's about to bolt, her mind screaming to slip out before Vanessa blows her cover, when Ethan does something that stops her cold. He turns to Vanessa, his voice smooth as ever, and says, "You're late. Emma and I were just about to make our announcement." Announcement? Your heart's probably racing as much as mine is. Because what is he doing? Emma's eyes widen, but she catches the look Ethan shoots her, a flicker of trust or maybe a dare. He's doubling down on her lie, and suddenly, the room's attention shifts. Claire, who's been watching like a hawk, steps closer, her smile tight. Marcus raises an eyebrow, and the investors Ethan's been wooing all night lean in, intrigued. You're probably thinking, Ethan's in on it? Or is he playing a bigger game? That's the spark that ignites the climax, because Emma realizes she's not just fighting to save her charade. She's being pulled into something deeper, something Ethan's been orchestrating all along. The mysterious text, Vanessa's arrival, Claire's scheming. It's all converging, and Emma's got to decide whether to trust Ethan or run before the truth explodes. You ever been in a moment where every choice feels like it could change your life? That's Emma right now, and you're right there with her, feeling every second of this suspense that's trending all over YouTube under shocking reveals and romantic drama. Let's unravel Ethan's side, because he's been holding cards you didn't even know were in play. Ethan Hayes isn't just a tech mogul with a guarded heart. He's been navigating a minefield of his own making. That business deal he's chasing? It's not just about money. It's about proving he's more than his family's name, more than the mistakes of his past. Years ago, Ethan was engaged for real, to a woman named Sophia, but it ended in a scandal that left him burned and his family scrambling to save face. That's why Claire's been so obsessed with his image, and it's why Ethan agreed to a secret arrangement. A fake fiancée, hired by his team to show up at the gala and seal the investors' trust. Vanessa was supposed to be that woman, a professional who'd play the part and disappear. But Vanessa got delayed, and Emma, by some wild twist of fate, stepped into the role instead. You're probably gasping. So Ethan knew Emma wasn't the real fake fiancée? Exactly. He figured it out halfway through the night, but there was something about Emma, her quick wit, her warmth, that made him keep her close instead of calling her out. That's why he's leaning into this announcement now, because he's betting on Emma to pull it off, and maybe, just maybe, he's starting to feel something real. But here's the kicker. That text Emma got? It wasn't from Vanessa, or Claire, or even Lila's ex, Jake. It was from Sophia, Ethan's real ex-fiancée, who's been watching from the shadows, ready to sabotage his comeback. You're probably screaming, "No way!" And I'm right there with you, because this is the kind of twist that makes a story go viral on YouTube under plot twists and betrayal. The climax hits when Ethan takes the stage, pulling Emma with him, and announces their engagement to the room. It's a bold move, a gamble to lock in the deal and shut down any doubts. The crowd erupts in applause, but Emma's mind is spinning. Sophia's threat, Vanessa's presence, and Claire's icy stare are all closing in. Vanessa, realizing she's been sidelined, slips out quietly, but not before whispering something to Claire that makes her eyes narrow. Meanwhile, Lila's arrived at the gala, having ignored her own drama with Jake to save her friend. She's pushing through the crowd, trying to reach Emma before it's too late. And then, just as Ethan's wrapping up his speech, Sophia steps forward from the back of the room, her voice cutting through the cheers like a knife. He's lying. She's not his fiancée, and neither was I. The room goes silent, and Emma feels like the floor's dropped out from under her. You're probably clutching your chest, because this is it, the moment where every lie, every secret, collides. Ethan's face pales, Claire's frozen, and Lila's stuck in the crowd, unable to reach Emma. Sophia's not just exposing Emma. She's dragging Ethan's past into the light, threatening to tank his deal and his reputation. You're dying to know what happens next, right? Does Emma confess? Does Ethan fight back? And how does this end for them? I'm not leaving you hanging. I'm giving you the resolution, but it's gonna come with one final twist that'll make this story unforgettable. Emma's first instinct is to run, but Ethan's hand on hers anchors her. The crowd's murmuring, the investors are whispering, and Sophia's standing there, all righteous fury, ready to tear it all down. But Emma's done hiding. She steps forward, her voice shaking but clear, and says, "She's right. I'm not his fiancée. I wasn't supposed to be here. The room gasps, but Emma keeps going, her eyes locked on Ethan's. I crashed this gala because I wanted to feel like I belonged somewhere, just for one night. But I stayed because of you. It's raw, it's real, and it's the truth she's been running from. A childhood of feeling invisible, a life of chasing dreams that always slipped away. Ethan's stunned, but there's a softness in his eyes, like he's seeing her for the first time. Before Sophia can twist the knife deeper, Ethan takes the mic. She's not my fiancée, he says, but she's the only one who's been real with me tonight. He turns on Sophia, revealing her attempt to blackmail him, and admits his own mistakes. The fake fiancé plan, the deal he chased at the cost of his integrity. The investors are shaken, but Ethan's honesty, and Emma's, shifts the room. Claire, for all her scheming, steps up, spinning the story to the crowd as a misunderstanding to save the family's name. The deal's in jeopardy, but Ethan doesn't care. He's done playing games. You're probably cheering, because this is the kind of resolution that hits all the feels, trending on YouTube under emotional moments and real love stories. The subplots wrap up with the same heart. Lila finally reaches Emma, pulling her into a hug that says everything. Friendship stronger than any mistake. Jake, Lila's ex, backs off when he sees Lila's loyalty, realizing he's lost his chance for good. Claire's secret scandal stays buried, but she's shaken, promising Ethan she'll stop meddling. Sophia storms out, her plan in tatters, and the gala ends with the crowd buzzing, some applauding Ethan's courage, others whispering about the drama. Emma and Ethan step outside, the Chicago skyline glowing behind them, and for the first time, they're just themselves. No lies, no roles. He asks her to grab coffee, not as a fiancée, but as Emma, and she smiles, saying, "Only if it's decaf." It's not a fairy tale ending. It's real, messy, and hopeful, the kind of closure that leaves you satisfied but still thinking. You're probably feeling that warm glow, right? But here's the final twist, the one that'll make this story stick with you. As they walk away, Emma's phone buzzes with one last text from an unknown number. It's just 2 words. "You're welcome." Your mind's blown, isn't it? Who sent it? Was someone else pulling strings all along? I'm leaving that door cracked open, because the best YouTube stories don't just end. They spark conversations, theories, and comments galore. This story's been a ride. And I'm so glad you stuck with me. It's about more than a fake fiancé or a gala gone wild. It's about finding yourself in the chaos, owning your truth, and taking a chance on something real. Emma and Ethan didn't just survive the night. They grew, and so did Lila, Claire, and even Marcus, who's probably already joking about the whole mess. You're walking away with a story that's got it all. Romance, suspense, betrayal, and a twist that's gonna have you hitting that share button. Think about it. What would you do for one night in a life you've always wanted? Would you let it go, or hold on tight? That's the takeaway, the kind of reflection that makes this more than just a viral video. It's a moment you'll carry. So, hit that like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think that final text means. You're part of this now, and I can't wait to bring you another story that's just as epic. Until then, keep chasing what's real, and I'll see you in the next video.